Chapter 1. The Birth of a Legend in 1966. The Beatles stood at the pinnacle of global fame, a phenomenon unparalleled in the annals of music history. Four lads from Liverpool had captured the hearts and imaginations of millions, transcending the boundaries of mere pop stardom to become cultural icons. They were more than just musicians. They were the harbingers of a new era, a symbol of youth and rebellion, of creativity and change. The world watched their every move with bated breath. And in this charged atmosphere, the seeds of one of music's most enduring legends were unwittingly sown. The year began with the band already well established as the vanguards of the British invasion. Their albums routinely topped charts across continents, and their concerts were events of near mythic proportions, attended by seas of screaming fans. Yet, beneath the glimmering sheen of success, the pressures of fame began to weigh heavily on the Fab Four. John Lennon, Paul McCartney, George Harrison, and Ringo Starr found themselves ensnared in a whirlwind of relentless touring and recording, their lives dictated by a punishing schedule that left little room for rest or introspection. It was during this time, amidst the chaos of their own making, that the Beatles decided to withdraw from live performances. The decision was a calculated risk, one that reflected their desire to evolve artistically beyond the simplistic confines of the pop concert format. The final chord of their last official concert at San Francisco's Candlestick Park in August 1966 marked the end of an era. It was an event imbued with a sense of finality, yet few could have predicted the intrigue that would soon follow. With the cessation of their live performances, the Beatles retreated into the studio, a creative sanctuary where they could experiment and redefine their sound. It was in this period of introspection and innovation that they produced S.G.T. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, an album that would come to be regarded as one of the greatest in the history of recorded music. Yet, as they delved deeper into their new artistic direction, whispers began to circulate, whispers that would burgeon into a full-blown conspiracy theory. The spark that ignited the legend was a simple car accident, a mundane incident in the grand scheme of things, yet one that would be shrouded in mystery and speculation. In January 1967, Paul McCartney was involved in a minor traffic mishap while driving his Aston Martin, although he emerged unscathed. The event was seized upon by the fertile imaginations of fans and conspiracy theorists. Rumors began to swirl that Paul had not survived the crash, that he had been replaced by a lookalike, a doppelganger, who was now masquerading as the beloved Beatle. The notion seemed preposterous, yet it captured the public's imagination with astonishing speed. In a world where the Beatles had become larger-than-life figures, the idea that one of their own could be replaced without anyone noticing was both tantalizing and terrifying. The conspiracy found fertile ground in the burgeoning counterculture of the 1960s, a time when authority was questioned and narratives of deception were readily embraced. As the whispers grew louder, they were amplified by the nascent power of mass media. In October 1969, a call was made to a Detroit radio station by a listener who claimed that clues to Paul's supposed death could be found in the Beatles' music and album artwork. The DJ, intrigued by the caller's assertions, aired a special program dissecting the supposed evidence. What followed was a media frenzy that saw the conspiracy theory catapulted into the mainstream consciousness. Newspapers and magazines across the globe picked up the story, each adding their own sensational spin to the tale. The Beatles themselves were bemused by the sudden uproar, their bemusement mingling with a touch of annoyance as they found themselves fielding questions about a conspiracy they had no hand in creating. Paul McCartney, the supposed victim of this elaborate ruse, found the situation both surreal and frustrating. Yet, for all their protestations, the myth persisted, fueled by the imagination of a public eager to believe in the impossible. The media coverage was relentless, with journalists scouring album covers and song lyrics for hidden messages. The infamous clues ranged from the cryptic to the absurd. The cover of Abbey Road with its funeral procession imagery was scrutinized with forensic intensity. The lyric "The Walrus Was Paul" from Glass Onion was dissected ad nauseum for its supposed hidden meaning. Each new piece of evidence was pored over with a fervor that belied the flimsy foundations of the theory. In the backdrop of this media circus, the Beatles continued their work, creating music that would outlast the fleeting fancies of conspiracy theorists. Yet, the legend of Paul's supposed death refused to die, becoming an enduring part of the band's mythology. It was a testament to the power of myth-making, to the human propensity for storytelling, where fact and fiction intertwine in a dance as old as time itself. As 1966 faded into history, the birth of this legend marked a turning point in the narrative of the Beatles. It was a moment that encapsulated the zeitgeist of the era. A time when the boundaries between reality and imagination were blurred, and anything seemed possible. The Paul McCartney conspiracy was more than just a rumor. It was a reflection of an age defined by its contradictions, by its hopes and fears, by its unyielding quest for truth in a world rife with deception. In the years that followed, the legend would grow, taking on a life of its own, a testament to the enduring allure of mystery and the inexhaustible curiosity of the human spirit. The Beatles, forever etched in the annals of history, would continue to shape the cultural landscape, their legacy intertwined with the myths that surrounded them. The birth of this conspiracy was just the beginning, the first chapter in a story that would captivate generations, inviting them to explore the tantalizing intersection of myth and reality.